Ladies and gentlemen, in the just concluded election, where IBC declared William Ruto the President of the Republic of Kenya, Raila Odinga garnered 6.9 million votes against William Ruto's 7.2 million votes. And the question which I want to ask you on this platform today is whether Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka can actually inherit Raila Odinga's support base in case Raila Odinga will not be on the ballot in 2027. Because let's face it, Raila Odinga is the only politician in this country who has followers. Followers mean people who can do whatever he tells them. If you will tell them support Kalonzo, majority of them will go with Kalonzo. But can Kalonzo Musyoka successfully inherit Raila Odinga's support base? Yes or no answer from you. But in this video, I want us to look at the 5 mistakes which, in my view, Kalonzo Musyoka should avoid if he intends to inherit Raila Odinga's support base. Before we do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without the support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Let us begin. Ahead of 2022 election, if you had asked me who would inherit Raila Odinga's support base, I would easily tell you Musalia Mudavadi. But the moment Musalia Mudavadi dumped Raila Odinga for Ruto, I can assure you Musalia Mudavadi will not easily inherit Raila Odinga's support base. The person who is likely to inherit Raila Odinga's support base is Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. So which means the 2027 general election will have William Ruto as a presidential candidate. It will have, in case Raila will not be there, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka as a presidential candidate. And it might also have a third force, specifically from the larger Mount Kenya region. And can Kalonzo Musyoka win the 2027 general election? It would be a very tall order for him. But as fate would have it, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka has some advantage which most people actually don't have. The first advantage he has is that, just like Raila Odinga, he has the solid Kamba support. In 2022 election, despite the fact that he was like supporting Raila, not supporting Raila, he managed to come at the last hour, and Kalonzo Musyoka locked William Ruto out of Ukambani politics, which means the Kamba nation are fully behind Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. If Kalonzo Musyoka were to be Raila Odinga's running mate, for example, or were to be the presidential candidate, I can assure you the entire Kamba nation would have voted for him to the last man. Number 2, Kalonzo Musyoka is experienced, having been a member of parliament at a younger age, having served as a cabinet minister, including foreign affairs, having served as a vice president of the Republic of Kenya. So Kalonzo Musyoka has the required experience. Kalonzo Musyoka is also acceptable. In fact, what sold Raila Odinga out in the last election was the reliance on Mount Kenya. There was a feeling that with the support of Uhuru Kenyatta, Mount Kenya was going to support Raila Odinga. They didn't, because majority of Mount Kenya are yet to accept Raila Odinga. So if they had a choice between Raila and Ruto, they would easily go with Ruto. That equation would have changed if there was Kalonzo Musyoka, for example, on the ticket and Ruto. The mountain can easily vote for Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. You go to the northeastern Kenya, you go to coast, he's acceptable. It's only that there are certain things which he's not getting right. The other advantage he has is that he can easily inherit Raila Odinga's support base. After the last election, majority of Raila Odinga supporters are like, Kalonzo is now an option because he delivered. Martha Karua failed. And the other advantage he has is that as we head or as we approach 2027, there's a high chance that Kenya Kwanza government is going to fail. And in case Kenya Kwanza is going to fail, it means they will be looking for an alternative. An alternative, in case Raila Odinga will not be there, is going to be Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. So for me, Kalonzo Musyoka has advantages, but he must avoid some of the mistakes. The first mistake Stephen Kalonzo must avoid is waiting to inherit the seat. In politics, power is grabbed. Power is never given. Ruto managed to grab power from Uhuru Kenyatta. He never waited to inherit. Uhuru Kenyatta grabbed power from Musalia Mudavadi. He never waited for Musalia Mudavadi or Moi to give him. Raila Odinga waited for President Uhuru Kenyatta to hand over power to him. It never happened, and it can never happen. So one of the things Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka must start doing immediately is to start scheming how to inherit the support base of Raila Amolo Odinga. So that's number one. Number two, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka must also change his brand of politics. If he's going to target Raila Odinga support base, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka must start playing firebrand politics. Kalonzo Musyoka is normally perceived to be a diplomat. If you want to inherit Raila Odinga support base, forget about that. Kalonzo must be ready to start taking on Kenya Kwanza government seriously. He must be willing to go with them to the mud if they push him to go to the mud. So for me, as long as he can rebrand his brand of politics from being a diplomat to a firebrand politician, where he can even court controversy by raising some issues which are, issues which can cause controversy, he has to do that. Number three, Kalonzo Musyoka should not wait. Time is not on his side. Early campaigns. We saw that working for Ruto. Ruto began early campaigns. And everybody was like, give him 6 months. Okay, give him 1 year. Give him 2 years. By the time people realized that this guy had covered ground, elections were around the corner. Kalonzo Musyoka must not wait. He must start targeting Raila Odinga support base right now. If he won't do that, he's going to be disappointed big time. Raila Odinga support base are impatient. So he must figure out how he's going to start early campaigns without waiting for that time. Number four is that Kalonzo Musyoka must avoid at all costs to be seen as a project or a project of Raila Odinga. In fact, for Kalonzo Musyoka to succeed in inheriting Raila Odinga support base, he must be on his own. He must go to them so that when Raila Odinga will decide, okay, I'm supporting you, they'll embrace him, because it can reach a point where Raila supports him, just like Uhuru supported Raila, but then the people tell him no. So he must not wait. He must get out of the shadow of Raila. He must be his own man. That's the only sure way Kalonzo Musyoka can actually succeed. The fifth mistake he must avoid is to believe that politics in Kenya is about issues. There is no issue Kenya politics is grounded on. Kalonzo must go outside there, convene an urgent meeting with the Kambas, the billionaires from Kamba region. Ask them that I want to inherit Raila Odinga support base. And for me to inherit Raila Odinga's support base, I need this much. Which means Kalonzo Musyoka must look for money. Without money, he won't. Because Raila Odinga supporters believe that right now, maneno ya kumalizana, the only person they've been supporting without money, in my view, is Raila himself. So that cannot be transferred to any other person. Kalonzo must look for money. And lastly, Kalonzo Musyoka should not fall for the mistake of Uhuru Kenyatta. He must reach out. If he will fail to reach out to members of parliament, governors, he should forget. Those are the realities. Kalonzo Musyoka, if I were him, I'd begin by making Babu Owino become a very close friend of mine. And I know you'll ask me why. Babu Owino is youthful. He appeals to the youth. Babu Owino has good ratings when it comes to Luo Nyanza politics. He must look for someone like Babu Owino. Kalonzo must reach out to someone like Ledama Olekina, the Narok senator, so that this guy can start organizing for him activities in Kajiado, in Narok and in Kajiado. He must start reaching out to people like Caleb Amis, people who believes in Raila Odinga. He must reach out. Uhuru Kenyatta became inaccessible. You could not access Uhuru Kenyatta. By the time now he was looking for these guys, they had already moved the other side. William Ruto is known. That's the fact. It's not going to give him space. He's going to try to manipulate most members of parliament, senators, and the rest. But Kalonzo must reach out to those he can reach out to. If he can do that, I'm sure Kalonzo Musyoka is likely to succeed Raila Odinga, especially in his base. If that will not happen, I will bank on William Ruto inheriting Raila Odinga support base. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.